Join me as I dive deep into the life of Idi Amin Dada and challenge myself to uncover the shocking truths behind the dictator who shook Africa. Did you know that Idi Amin, once dubbed the Butcher of Uganda, claimed to have been a king of Scotland? This shocking assertion sets the stage for a deep dive into his controversial reign. In this video, you'll explore the life and rule of Idi Amin Dada, a dictator who left an indelible mark on Uganda and the entire African continent. Amin's rule began with grand promises to bring stability and progress to Uganda after a military coup in 1971. But what followed was an era of immense suffering and chaos. Over 300,000 people were killed during his brutal reign, and his oppressive policies destroyed Uganda's economy and its international standing. His controversial expulsion of 80,000 Asians in 1972 crippled key industries, leading to widespread poverty and collapse. Amin's Uganda quickly turned into a nightmarish police state, where anyone could be a target. From human rights abuses to economic turmoil, Amin's regime raised important questions about the consequences of absolute power and unchecked military authority. Amin's early life and military rise. To understand how Idi Amin became the dictator of Uganda, we first have to look at his early years. Born in 1925 in Koboko or Kampala, the exact details are murky, Amin came from the Kakwa ethnic group, a small Muslim minority in Uganda. He had little formal education and eventually joined the King's African Rifles, KAR, in 1946, a British colonial army. Over the next 2 decades, Amin earned a reputation as a loyal and ruthless soldier, participating in major military campaigns such as the Mau Mau uprising in Kenya. By the time Uganda gained its independence in 1962, Amin was already a trusted figure in the military under the leadership of Prime Minister Milton Obote. In 1965, after helping Obote in suppressing an army mutiny, Amin was promoted to deputy commander of the Ugandan army. However, behind the scenes, tensions were growing between Amin and Obote, especially after Amin was implicated in the smuggling of gold and ivory from the Congo. The 1971 coup in January 1971, Obote left Uganda to attend a Commonwealth summit in Singapore. During his absence, Amin staged a military coup and seized power. Initially, he was seen as a liberator, with promises to restore democracy, release political prisoners, and stabilize the nation. But beneath this veneer of hope, Amin was already setting up the infrastructure of terror. The expulsion of Asians. Perhaps one of the most pivotal events of Amin's reign was the expulsion of Uganda's Asian minority in 1972. Amin claimed to have received a divine message instructing him to expel all Asians, particularly those of Indian descent, within 90 days. Over 80,000 Asians, many of whom had British passports, were forced to leave. The expulsion was devastating for Uganda's economy. Asians controlled the majority of small businesses, manufacturing and trading sectors. Without their expertise, the economy spiraled into free fall, with industries collapsing and inflation skyrocketing. However, Amin seized their property, handing it over to his loyalists, further solidifying his power among his supporters, but at a steep cost to the nation. The brutality and human rights violations. Amin's dictatorship was marked by widespread violence. From 1971 to 1979, it is estimated that between 100,000 and 500,000 people were killed. Amin targeted specific ethnic groups like the Acholi and Lango, perceived political enemies, military officers, and anyone who posed a threat to his rule. His State Research Bureau and Public Safety Unit became infamous for torture, disappearances, and extrajudicial killings. Political rivals were eliminated in horrific ways, with reports of bodies being thrown into the River Nile as a warning. Amin's brutality knew no bounds. Stories of his alleged cannibalism, though unverified, added to his fearsome image. His growing paranoia led to purges within the army, even targeting his closest allies. Foreign relations and the Entebbe Incident. On the international stage, Amin was equally controversial. Early in his rule, he aligned with Israel. But by the mid-1970s, he had turned to Muammar Gaddafi's Libya, Soviet Union, and East Germany for support. His break with the West was epitomized by the famous Entebbe hostage crisis in 1976. Palestinian and German terrorists hijacked an Air France flight, which landed in Uganda. Amin sided with the hijackers, but in a daring raid, Israeli commandos stormed the airport and rescued most of the hostages. The incident humiliated Amin on the global stage. War with Tanzania and Amin's downfall. By 1978, Amin's grip on power was slipping. His regime faced economic collapse, and his military was increasingly undisciplined. In a desperate move, Amin invaded Tanzania in October 1978, hoping to divert attention and rally his forces. However, this decision proved disastrous. The Tanzanian military, along with Ugandan rebels, launched a successful counterattack. In April 1979, Tanzanian forces captured Kampala, and Amin fled into exile, first to Libya, then to Saudi Arabia, where he would live until his death in 2003. The moment when Amin's grip on power truly began to falter was his ill-fated invasion of Tanzania. It became clear that his once formidable military had become too weakened by purges and economic collapse. As Tanzanian forces and Ugandan exiles closed in, Amin's aura of invincibility shattered. His overthrow marked the end of one of Africa's bloodiest regimes, but left Uganda in chaos. Idi Amin's rule left Uganda in a state of ruin, and his brutal tactics left scars on the nation's collective memory. Today, Uganda continues to grapple with the legacy of his dictatorship, serving as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and authoritarian rule. If you found this video of Idi Amin's life intriguing, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more explorations into Africa's complex history, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to check out our other videos on African and historical events. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. Thank you for watching.